So everyone says they want a mentor. You heard me say that in the last episode, but not everyone is prepared for what that actually requires. Because you could have been praying for a mentor, somebody to find you, but guess what? That mentor has been watching you and they're asking, is this someone I can trust to put my time into, my wisdom, and my journey? Because mentorship isn't about handing over information. It's about transferring that person's insight, their identity, and their legacy into another person. And that does not happen casually. So in today's episode, I want to flip the script. I want to not just talk about what you want in a mentor. I want to get to the nitty gritty. I want to talk about what mentors are really looking for and why you might be overlooked. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, great mentors don't respond to hype. We're looking for habit. We're looking for not the loudest person in the room, the one with all the accolades, the one that's doing a whole bunch of stuff on Instagram and all this long resume. We're not looking for that. We're looking for the one who is carrying themselves quietly. They're not clapping. They're not like everyone's clapping for them. No, we're not looking for that person. We're looking for somebody that has daily habits that's showing so much of who their character is. And let me give you a perfect example. I was working with a mentee and they would come showing up to my meetings regularly, attending everything that I did. They were there. They were taking notes. They were showing up early. They were following up with reflective thought about the information that I was sharing with them. And guess what? They were applying the work. They truly was taking into account what it is I was pouring into them. And they weren't asking me for a discount. They weren't trying to reduce my value, which is critical. And they weren't flooding my email with tons of messages for the little knowledge that I give them. They were like all over what I could give, and they weren't asking questions without applying it. Those are the type of things that we look for. We want people who are showing up consistently to do the work, because when you put that time in and when something new comes up, like I have stuff coming up all the time, and who am I going to think of? I'm going to think of that person who is doing the things that I need to see done so that we can move forward, because that is the demonstration we're looking for, is for that mentee to be posturing in a way that says, I'm worth pouring into. And that's what we're looking for. So I can honestly tell you that when we find someone, there's like a few things that we really look for. We really want to find somebody who is hungry. They have a hunger, and it's the right kind of drive. It's not just hungry for attention or hungry for having the mic. We're not looking for that person. We want somebody who's hungry for the information that we are sharing. So when things are happening, I'm asking myself, is this somebody I can count on, or is that a person that just wants to be the showboat? They want to be in front with a microphone. Or is this somebody that's going to take what I give them and apply it? Are they going to show up even before they really can just develop into the skills that they're needing? That's what we're looking for. And we want somebody who's truly going to make a difference when we start sharing that information. We want them applying those things, and they have to be hungry for it, even without getting a dime with where they're wanting to go. They're hungry for the information that you're wanting to share. We also look for someone who's going to be honorable, somebody that knows how to handle wisdom, time, and space. They recognize the value that you bring. They honor that currency that we bring them with everything that we say. Now, If they're showing up early and prepared, they're showing up following instruction, whatever direction you give you, they're doing it. And they are looking for just those things that you give them, they're working on it. And they respect your time, they respect those boundaries you create. I tend to think of myself as fully accessible to all of my mentees, and I make myself available 20, like I tell my mentees all the time, you're welcome to contact me, but guess what? You could tell the ones that really respect my time and the ones who respect those boundaries. They know I have a family. They know that I have other things going on. When they ask me questions, they take it and apply it. Those are the type of people we're looking for. Even though I am saying, hey, my door is wide open. I keep my door open. Whatever you have, go ahead and come. They don't have a spirit of just greediness. And I say that in the nicest way that I can, because you don't want to get to the point where you are given information and you do nothing with it. All you want to do is grab. You have a spirit of just taking without pouring or giving it to someone else. I truly look for someone who's grateful for the things that they're given and they utilize that. I also love for people who actually execute. And that within itself speaks volumes, because if you can truly get information and apply it and execute it and take action on it, that's worth its weight in gold. And I'm just telling you, it gets frustrating sometimes as a mentor when we share a lot of information. When I share it, I'm sharing it, I'm pouring everything into what it is that I do. But it is frustrating when that person doesn't take action on it. Or when I give advice or I give guidance, they take it and discard it. Now, you have the right clearly to take it or leave it, but I'm less likely to give a whole lot if I'm constantly saying the same thing over and over again. So definitely having some follow through is critical to the type of things that I'm looking for. And most importantly, I also want to find someone who does not misuse access to me. Because as we get into this space, I'm being pulled from several different places. So when you take that information and you access it when you need to access it, that is the best thing that we like to look for. And it's not like when I do pour into you, it's not an opportunity I'm not going to be your therapist. I'm nobody's therapist. But sometimes I'll give information and it's sometimes treated as a therapy session. Like I have to constantly lift someone up. You have to have the ability to not only lift yourself up and build yourself up, but do the things necessary to keep yourself lined up. Because as a mentor, I don't like to have to constantly have to pull somebody up all the time, bring them out of a space where they're constantly, they're always in the weeds, they're always in the muck, and I have to constantly lift them up to show them where they need to be. So having those things, it shows a level of maturity, and sometimes it's just not the right time. And as a mentor, we like to recognize that. So looking for someone who is mature in that space, those are the things that are critical to us. And then also being teachable. I can say that most people probably have the biggest challenge with this one, because to be coachable, somebody that you can pour into and they take direction, that is a skill set. And sometimes it's hard. You have to get yourself to a place where you can take that, and not just be coachable, but be okay with being corrected. When you correct someone, because there's a way we do it in love as mentors, we want people to be able to receive what it is that we are saying to them. But if they shut completely down or get defensive, those are things that is like the biggest turnoff. We drop mentorships for those very reasons. So I want to encourage you, if you are looking for a mentor and you're seeking someone out, look inside and see if these are qualities that you lack. Because if you lack these qualities, I can almost assure you that the likelihood of you getting a good mentor is going to be slim. You have to do the work to be able to be received as a mentee. So that mentor, you'll let that mentor know, hey, I'm definitely someone that you want to pour into. So as you think about these things and you think about why people are being overlooked from mentorship, so there are 4 reasons why you might be getting overlooked. So take note. First, you might be inconsistent. Inconsistent in how you show up. You show up this week hot on fire, knocking actions out, and then next week you completely disappear. We don't see you, we don't hear from you. And being a mentor is not easy. And as you get mentees working with you, you take them where they are. And our goal is to push you forward. Our goal is not to take you backwards. But if today we're on, tomorrow we're not, then the next day you're on, we practically have to start over working with you. And that inconsistency can cause a lot of confusion in your progress. And if you're paying for a 6-month membership or a 12-month mentorship, that takes time. And we're not here to, I'll just tell you, I'm not here to just collect your money and let you do what you need to do. I'm here to get you results. So if you're not consistent with what it is that you want, then you impact my ability to be able to help you. So that's why we're overlooking you if you're not consistent. If you're showing up today and then I don't see you for 2 weeks and then you want to come to me for a mentorship, guess what I'm going to say? You know what? This is something that, I have a process in which I follow, and you might not be perfect for what we're getting ready to do. So those are things that we look at. Also, when we talk about emotionally reactive, if you're an emotionally reactive person, constantly taking everything personal that I say to you, you feel that it's a personal attack on you, or you just become defensive, nobody wants to react to that. I'm not looking for an emotional roller coaster that I have to constantly, how are they going to come at me today with anything that I need to say? I need to be able to give feedback. And if I can't give you constant feedback on how you need to be, then that's going to be a problem for me as well. Our job is to not coddle you, but to cultivate you. And I cannot cultivate you if I have to be careful with what it is that I say to you. Also, if you are the type of person that lacks stewardship, you've been in 5 different programs with 5 different mentors. I talk to people all the time. Oh, I got this mentor for this mentor for that, but you've not stewarded one. And you're constantly chasing after mentorship like it's some trend instead of building legacy through your consistency. So being able to take on mentors that make sense to your business and taking you to the next level is critical. And that's where I need you to be in order for me to work with you. And then last but not least is you have a mindset. It's like a transactional behavior. You only show up when you need something. And I don't know really where you are. You give me no updates on where you are. You don't pour back. You never pour back into other people. It's a group of people. I love working in groups because we pour into each other, because that's how the blend works with my insight and the things that I share. Everyone benefits as a whole, but you're not treating it like a true, you're not treating us mentors as someone that is of value to you. You're treating us like Google. You might as well just go on Google or ChatGPT or whatever to create what you need. That's not what we're interested in. I can tell you that's not what I am interested in. I'm looking for somebody that not only that I can pour into, and I can pour into long term. We can create relationships together. Those are the type of things that most mentors are looking for. I shared with you specifically the ones that I'm interested in. So if you want me to mentor you and you want to know more about how we can do this together, feel free to reach out to me in my school community. That's tonyschool.com, TONISKOOL.com. There is where I'm able to bring all of our purpose-driven leaders so that we can talk about this work collectively together. And it's where I get to identify potential mentees who are perfect to work for and to work with. So I want you to go ahead and shoot me a note if you're interested in being my mentee, and then we can pursue and see what that looks like. So as we look at this last section, talking specifically about how maybe you can shift, because clearly I'm not giving you this long laundry list so that you can be woe is me in a corner talking about you can't be a mentee. I want you to be a mentee, and you can shift your posture immediately. You do not need to beg for a mentor. You just need to become someone that's worthy of mentoring. And this is how you do it. You want to make sure that you honor the wisdom that you already have, because you have wisdom. Many people I like to mentor, I like mentoring people who already have some things built on, because that wisdom, you start taking that and applying it, then you can do some amazing things. So definitely apply that wisdom you already have. Don't just collect it. And then I want you to follow up with gratitude and feedback. So when you are in a space where there are mentors like me, be sure to just be in gratitude for whatever it is that you receive and give feedback. Don't come from a spirit of that person owing you, because that person doesn't owe you anything. You have to come to the table bringing what you bring, but then being in gratitude for what it is that they give you, because clearly they're a mentor for a reason. They are at the level that they are performing at for a reason, and just the fact that they have allowed you and selected you to be a mentee with them, those are things that are of value. And give feedback. If it doesn't work out perfect, because there's no perfection in this, then share your input and feedback. But don't attack them for, oh, you didn't do this for me and I paid you all this money, or even worse, I bring more value to you, and I think that you should be this instead of that. Like, you should be charging me $1,000, not $2,000. Don't operate from that space. And I'm going to encourage you not to do that. And then I want you to be planted long enough to be shaped. Many of you think that you already have it, or I'm this far along in my progress. I don't need, I'm almost there myself, so I'm good, when you have had no shaping. So it's important to be able to get you some roots in what you're building, not just wings. And many of you, even in this transitional housing space, you can get some amazing knowledge. You get knowledge just being in the space with me in our school community. But just because you got some wings and some things are working great does not mean that you are rooted in what needs to be built with you. You don't see what you don't see. You don't see the blind spots. That mentor does. And then you truly want to demonstrate commitment when no one is watching. You want to be able to just get to a place of where you are fully committed to what it is that you're doing, regardless of whether that mentor is watching you, the people in the group are watching you. You can do it regardless. Demonstrate that commitment. And then I want you to be open to correction, because when you are open to correction, that speaks volumes to your maturity. If you aren't able to receive correction and make adjustments, you might not be mature enough, and that's okay as well. But you need to be able to allow the correction that's given to you to transform you and grow you into where you need to be. So when you do those things right, you can truly position yourself to receive a mentor. Because I can truly tell you that as I look at several mentees and people I love working with, the attributes I shared with you in this episode are the things that I look for, as well as other people who mentor someone else. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you are aligning yourself with those things. So as you think about being a mentee, I want to just encourage you to look at yourself and say, if I were a mentor, Would I mentor me? That's the question I want to end this episode on. Because if there's anything in that that says no, you wouldn't, start working on those things. Because I believe that as you analyze yourself as to your ability to be mentored, it's important for you to check it off too and say, yep, I'm ready to be mentored. So I hope this episode blessed you. I have a couple more talking about mentorship, and I look forward to seeing you at the next.